Because his love doesn't exist. Episode 28.
You're gonna regret that, Siyeon Kim. So think it through once more.
I have thought it through. The conclusion is the same. I've had this on my mind for a while now, and I didn't want to tell you until you were discharged.
You expect me to believe that you like my brother?
While you were in the army, we even went on many dates together. My parents and grandfather know too.
So you took me for a fool all this time while seeing my brother?
I wasn't trying to trick you on purpose. I just didn't have the chance to tell you.
Siyeon, do you like my brother? Do you like Yeong Jin?
I couldn't say yes. I couldn't hide it any longer that I liked Ijun. Because I had already told him I liked him. The lie that I liked Yeong over Ijun on an emotional level. I want him. I want Yeong Jin, the eldest son of Midnight Sun Foods Inc. Was a lie I couldn't bring myself to tell. You know what Yeong means within the head family. He's going to be the chief director of strategy straight after his graduation. He'll most likely make it to CEO.
So you're saying that you just want to become the wife of the CEO of Midnight Sun Foods Inc.?
Yes. Ijun's cold stare toward me gave me a strange sense of relief. I'd rather he hated me than be sad. Grandfather even gave me a huge amount of stocks for me to use to my liking. And he asked me to take good care of Yeong. My parents couldn't wait a single day and invited him over for a meal. It was like we were already a family. Do you get it now? It's clear that you have no place in that family, and our relationship cannot go on any further.
Siyeon, I haven't even started yet. If I can give you something bigger than what Yeong offers, would you come to me?
I didn't know what he was thinking, but I did know that he was being serious. But I mustn't react to it. Why should I when there's already a safe and comfortable road up ahead of me?
After you marry my brother, do you think you could just look at my face as if everything were fine?
What did we do? I didn't do anything with you to feel guilty over. I knew fully well how ugly and brazen my behavior was, but I held my head up high. Because if not, breaking up with Ijun would become impossible.
And what would make you feel guilty? Just because you didn't go to bed with him, you think you're innocent? Just what did you do with him to make you feel so shameless?
I don't want to tell you about my private life. Just carrying on this conversation alone was suffocating and exhausting. And I had no time to consider what I would actually sound like right now to Ijun's ears.
Siyeon Kim, I didn't go to the States because of you, because I wanted to be with you. Because you said that Yeong wasn't the only man available in my family.
Yeong's not the only available man in the Seorae-jong clan. Once I got another chance with a new life, my new choices, the different directions I took. And maybe the hope I had stored up for myself.
No matter how bored you were, you shouldn't have played that sort of game with me. This is too much.
Had all dragged Ijun to this point.
Why don't you answer me?
And unlike my past life, I eventually found myself in this dangerous situation. Don't blame me for your choices. and finally ended things with Ijun.
Yeah, I only have myself to blame for being an idiot.
I didn't quite remember what Ijun said in the last moment of our breakup. I only had the look of his bloodshot eyes etched in my memory. I couldn't think anymore. And after that, I couldn't bear to see him again. 5 years later.
What is she doing out here sleeping again?
Huh.
Hey, honorable part-timer. Get up.
Oh, Monsieur. What are you doing there?
Section Chief Yeong called you in to eat, so I'm here to get you.
I'm not that hungry.
Be quiet and come at once. Be thankful. Where else on earth would still provide meals to a part-timer like you who quit years ago?
All right. I'm coming. Should I buy some ice cream on the way, Monsieur? There's Section Chief Yeong and the task leader. Who else?
Enough. I'm not gonna scrounge ice cream off of someone jobless like you.
Yunsu eventually entered a big company after graduating. But every once in a while, on weekday evenings and some weekends, he would always show his face at Yeong Jin. And Yunhai seemed to have given up on the succession to her father's factory a long time ago. How many times have I told you? I'm not jobless. I'm a freelancer.
Yeah. You're always out there on that yard. Ha!
Ah.
I thought you were diligent at first, but you get lazier by the day. If I hadn't come to get you, you would probably lay there all day until sundown. You live close enough. Why don't you start working part-time instead?
Oh, stop it. My body clock got messed up, and I've been a night owl for the last few years now. I couldn't do anything about Monsieur thinking I was jobless. After becoming a professional novel writer, it had been a long time since I quit my part-time jobs. After publishing my first novel online, I had developed quite a reputation among readers. The web novel, Dragon's Wings, reaches 100 million views. #1 in overseas webtoon sales, game and movie adaptations to be lined up simultaneously. I had made a contract with publishers, and my second novel was a massive hit. Thanks to that novel, the money from selling my apartment, along with the money in my account, I was able to generously give to my icon parents. Take this. As I handed them my bank book before I left Seoul, they looked at me with pale faces.
What is the meaning of this?
The thought that they caught on to the fact that I knew the whole truth crossed my mind in that moment. This just means I'm doing well enough to live on my own now. And that's how I tidied up my relationship with the two of them in my heart. And last spring, I moved to a new place within walking distance to Yeong Jin. I didn't know about the place's investment value, but I really liked the house for its large yard. I could write better while hearing the grass bugs during the silent nights, and it felt good. And before I knew it, my body clock got switched around and I usually sleep during the day.
Oh yeah. Did you hear about that story? I heard Yunhai's marrying that chief director of Midnight Sun Foods Inc. next spring.
Is she doing all right at work?
Against all advice, she entered as his secretary, so she has no other choice but to do her best.
As soon as Yunhai graduated, she entered the secretary office of Midnight Sun Foods Inc.'s chief director of strategy. But it's ironic that it was Guihyun who was the one against her having a job there.
I don't want to watch Yunhai suffer from the sideline because of me.
I heard he had no choice but to accept her with all her crying and whatnot.
Haha. I can imagine. The boss will be lonely once Yunhai gets married.
I bet he already is. He talks about how he barely talks to her inside the house, when she hasn't even moved out yet. I heard she practically lives with the chief director day and night.
Even though news about their passionate romance spread like wildfire all the way to the factories of Yeong Jin, Guihyun still didn't introduce Yunhai to the parents or grandfather in Suwon. Maybe he was thinking of keeping silent until the situation was solved before going ahead and telling them. The truth remained a secret, so grandfather continued to contact me. And I obviously had to go visit Suwon multiple times against my wishes.
The head house feels so empty without Guihyun or Ijun.
I couldn't dare say anything about the secret I was keeping.
I'll park the car, you go ahead first.
K. As soon as I opened the restaurant door, the now promoted section chief Yeong and the ever so energetic task leader greeted me warmly.
Welcome. Over here, Siyeon.
Don't forget the food dishes in the fridge for you on your way home again.
Okay, thank you. Since I moved to this neighborhood, the task leader prepared food for me weekly. They were prepared with so much care and given to me every week. I had politely declined, considering it was too much trouble for her, but she always insisted.
Are you refusing this because you think I'm poorer than you? I'm only working here because I want to keep my health in check while making some extra pocket money. I'm not a starving hobo, you know. And when an adult gives you something, you say thank you and accept without all the mumbling.
Sorry. After the scary chastising, I always ended up taking her food quietly home.
Oh, Siyeon. If you're not busy, why don't you visit the office after we eat?
Including section chief Yeong, the two dearly took care of me like family, like an older sister or an auntie. And I had now decided to accept their kindness. I will. But aren't you busy with work, Sukwi? Busy?
Having too much time on her hands is the issue.
Ever since Yeong Jin lost the contract renewal with Midnight Sun Foods Inc. last spring, the company's been on the decline. That brat Yunhai didn't even consider helping out her father's business with Midnight Sun. It would have been the perfect chance for her to coax her boyfriend and help us out.
As was mentioned, the Yeong Jin that failed to renew their contract with Midnight Sun Foods Inc. took a hard fall in their business. And now they were barely surviving. The CEO took lump sums out of his own private property to support his staff until the very end.
I'll try my best to get us out of this mess. So everyone hang in there. I'm so sorry and thankful.
But they didn't have enough work and couldn't survive. Most of the staff had quit, and now all those left were the ones who had shared the longest history with the company. When I first heard of the unfortunate news of the failed contract between Yeong Jin and Midnight Sun Foods Inc., I couldn't help but suspect Guihyun.